On behalf of Governor Jerry Brown, welcome to the California State Fair. I'm Karen Ross, Secretary of the California Department of Food and Agriculture. I'm passionate about fostering a connection between consumers and the land and people who produce our agricultural bounty, and ensuring that every Californian has access to healthy, nutritious California agricultural products. That's why I'm excited to introduce this exhibit, The Best of California, celebrating the farm workers' rich contributions to food and agriculture.
The immigrants have always played an important role in agriculture in the state of California, and actually throughout the United States.
These are farm workers who do some of the most difficult work under the harshest of conditions.
It wouldn't happen without those people who do the hard work.
With the farm workers, we come to them constantly and we just talk about the importance of their work, that they are professionals, that they are skilled at what they do.
We produce the fruits and the vegetables for the rest of the country and a great part of the world.
So my father was committed to this idea that our food supply should be safe and just, that it would be safe for the people producing it, that they'd be protected against dangerous pesticides and from working in terrible conditions, and that it would be just. Pues mira, mi papá le daba mucha pena recibir el reconocimiento personal, porque él supo que su trabajo pues no hubiera sido posible si no fuera por el sacrificio de mucha gente, sacrificios grandes y gente que perdieron sus casas y algunos que perdieron su vida.
Well, you know, back in the 1960s, really the agricultural laborers were different from the folks that harvest our fruits and vegetables today. I mean, you had Filipino farm workers and folks from Mexico, a lot of folks that had really migrated during the Dust Bowl days to come here to work in agriculture. So there was a large population of Anglos, African Americans, all came together, Arabs, all came together to really work in the agricultural fields here in this state.
Latino side of the farm worker movement was really the stronger one because of numbers.
In the early days, it was the Filipino community and led by Larry Itliong and folks like Pete Velasco and others that really kind of began to force the issue of changing wages and improving working conditions for farm workers, and it was their impetus, their beginnings of the table grape strike back in 1965 that other farm workers wanted to support that, and that brought Cesar Chavez and Larry Itliong together.
When Cesar Chavez agreed to join, and they were a bigger force, you could really feel the excitement and the movement of the strike, because that started in September 8, 1965.
And as a result of that, the farm worker movement was created, and the United Farm Workers the organization was developed between both the Filipino farm workers and the Mexican farm workers that were working in the fields, and farm workers from other nationalities and ethnicities.
And together, that beautiful collaborative movement where folks stood shoulder to shoulder and side by side from different communities, but with one goal, to achieve justice.
That really did a lot to keep the movement together and strong, and to have faith that being together, if si se puede, anything can be done if you're together.
That became one of the most successful movements ever, and it was because of that collaboration, of that unity, of that common goal, of folks from different backgrounds, but committed to a common goal. So, that story to me is really important to be told, and I get chills every time I tell it, and I hope that kids will as well, young people, our students. It's required to be taught in our public schools. So, every child, whether you be Filipino or Latino or any other ethnic background, will read about it, and I believe will be inspired by it to show that, to learn that you and know that you can change your world when you're committed to justice and fight side by side with other like-minded folks.
So there's been many protections and benefits that farm workers have won as a result of the work of my father and others in the farm worker movement. California is the only state in the country that has protections for farm workers who want to bargain collectively with their employers. In 1975, Governor Jerry Brown signed the Agricultural Labor Relations Act, providing workers that benefit.
The farm worker overtime legislation, which the farm workers union and the farm workers will tell you they were fighting for decades, was a historic achievement last year, and one which I think in my career I can't imagine matching.
And we want to continue to make sure that there are fair wages and safe working conditions and an opportunity for retirement security and access to health care for our farm workers. These are farm workers who do some of the most difficult work under the harshest of conditions, in the heat, with some limited access to water at times, and if anyone ever has any doubts, go try it yourself. It's backbreaking, grueling work.
One of the great things that the Farm Workers Union did was to change that image of farm workers, to show that these are very good, hard-working people that put the food on our table every day.
I think all of us understand that we need workers to pick our food. California is an amazing state, and we actually treat our farm workers with more dignity and respect than any other state in the nation, probably any other place in the world.
Agricultural industry has changed dramatically, and it's changing all the time. And so we too are looking at how do we develop organizations and how do we create new innovative ways of doing things so that we can benefit those in the supply chain, so that we can, in the food supply chain, so that we can make sure that farm workers continue to be of value.
California's agricultural abundance is a reflection of the people who made the Golden State their home. In the process, they brought their agricultural heritage with them. Early California farmers and ranchers were the Spanish missionaries, followed by Mexicans, Filipinos, Italians, Japanese, Chinese, and Russians. Today, nearly every nationality is represented in California agriculture.
Cada día que van a sentarse a comer, que miren la comida y piensen ustedes, denle las gracias a los campesinos que están haciendo trabajo para poner esa comida en su mesa, ¿no? Y darles el apoyo que ellos necesitan para que ellos también y sus familias pueden tener una vida cómoda, así como muchos de los que están mirando este video, y así como tenemos que apoyar a nuestros campesinos, respetarlos y hacer todo lo que podemos para que ellos también puedan tener una vida segura y buena. Gracias.